Hello, everybody. It's yet another episode of Can We Talk? And I can't say I'm Andy's wife because I'm the one who's opening.
Okay. And I'm Andy.
All right. And I am Andy's wife. It makes sense when you start.
Okay.
Yeah, no wonder the Bible says, I know I'll keep referring to the Bible.
Uh-huh.
The Bible says the man has to be the head of the family. They have
Not
to
has
start.
to be, is the head. Is the head.
Thank you for that correction.
Yeah.
And so seeing that the man is the head of the family, so should men lead in finances?
Yes.
Okay, come on. I like how you say yes.
Yes.
So when are you giving me the $1 million?
No, I take care of the finances, so I know what. Yes, so I make the decisions as well. So I'll give you $10 for your. How much do you need for groceries? I'll give you exactly that.
That is not what the Bible meant.
Tomato.
So it says, you Christ-like. You have to do it like Christ.
But you don't starve.
Christ he gave us his life sacrificially.
Yes.
So you have to give a sacrificial.
Yeah.
So whatever I need.
Yeah.
And we always say, Lord, give us more than what we can think or imagine.
Yeah.
So husband,
yes.
give me money.
So you're not starving.
More than I can think or imagine.
Yeah. As long as you're not starving.
I'm not, but I can't. It has to match with how I look as well.
Yeah.
I can't just look humble. Yet I'm not starving. I'm eating polony at home.
Wow.
Eating all the nice things. But when I go outside, people are like, oh, shame, poor woman.
I get you.
No, joking.
Yeah.
So today what are we talking about? It's a very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just pick up on the finances now that you've spoken about finances. So what do you think about finances in relationships?
I'm the one who's supposed to be asking that question today.
Oh, okay. Ask away.
So what do you think about finances in relationship? How easy is it to manage finances, whether amongst friends, and families, husband and wife, parents and children, and especially this one. This one. This one is going to blow your mind because it's the most complicated one. And I think we touched on it during the week.
Right.
The finances and in-laws.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Remember the story that you were sharing about a wife who, I think we are getting excited now.
Getting ahead of ourselves, yeah.
But anyways, the story that you shared about of a wife who the husband mentioned that mom has passed away, and then they drove to Ekaya, to the rural home, and on their way the wife is like, let's buy cabbage and all that, and on their way she discovered that no, man,
direction is different.
This is actually my mom. So finances are a very tricky one. Do you give your in-laws? Do you not? Do you balance?
Yeah.
What do you do? The needs are different. Yeah. Even with your kids.
Definitely.
Do you give them the same amounts? Do you give where you feel like there is a need? Even with your friends, do you borrow them funds? Do you tell your husband? Oh my gosh, that's a lot
to say. That's a lot to say. I wish we could have had this one as a live, and then we could get the interaction from other people.
Schedule a live, and we hear what people think about it.
Yeah, and if there's an option for comments, I don't know if our producer gives options for comments, then people can give comments underneath, and then we find out. What? Yeah, but it is. I mean, to start off, there was a partnership of 3 that came together to buy a business or to do business.
Right.
And in it, the one wanted to give 2. So it still comes out as 3. Okay. But how it came out, no one has to know. So I will give you the money so that when you come to the table, it seems like you are financially okay, but you are not. and they received counsel from outside that don't you dare. You understand each other today, but tomorrow when you have a little disagreement or when the business fails, it will be now, don't forget it was your money. Or when it thrives so much, but remember that it was my money that kickstarted you. So it then can really mess up. So finances and friendships, well, bus fare, you could be there for your friend, give him a little bit of bus fare, bail them out here and there. But for major or critical decisions, be it single or married, it can be very, very tricky amongst friends. Very, very tricky amongst friends.
And there's something that I always say, I know you'd remember this. I don't mind borrowing people funds.
Right.
I really don't mind. I'm okay. I can borrow you funds. But the moment you tell me that you are borrowing me, I will give you back.
Yes.
I take that word and
that.
I believe it so much that even in decision making, I'll be saying,
my money is coming.
I have $100 somewhere. But then you get some people who say, can I borrow? And they don't return. Especially in friendships. I think that is what causes a drift. And then people start saying, she doesn't, she is very stingy. She doesn't want to give her money. But let's get the lines correct. When you say we are borrowing each other, we are borrowing. But if you have a need and you know that you can't return, just tell me, I have a need for so much and I don't have the money. I don't think I will give you back. That way, I know that in my budget, I am deleting $20. I know that I am giving it to you with a clear conscience, knowing that I'm not getting it back. Because we are finance people. We set budgets.
And you and I, definitely.
We set budgets. We want to know how it went in, how it went out, how did we spend. If we are, spending it, however we spend it, but let it be defined. Yes, let it be defined. So I think that is what causes a drift in finances. People have to know, are we giving each other? Are we borrowing each other? Especially in friendships. It really messes people up. You'd rather maintain the friendship and not borrow each other. Because I've heard people, especially with my friends, I know I've had lines like, were you expecting your money back?
You did say borrow.
I was. But in marriage, it doesn't work like that. You agree?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
We borrow with no caption.
Definitely. In marriage, I already know that it's not coming back. I for one, can testify that it's not coming back. So I will be surprised when it does.
That? How do you feel?
Well, interestingly, we didn't have premarital counseling, so we got in blind when it comes to marriage and finance. Not blind, we're one-eyed. I think we got one-eyed.
We did a bit, and so, we didn't get into like the deep stuff. We just did the basics.
So it's a tricky one that way because there's no longer his money, my money. It's all our money. So why should you then be borrowing money from the one? Don't you have money in one common pool?
Oh, wow.
But I'm not sure how realistic that is. I'm not sure how practical
it has to be.
So shout out to the Educate team, Terry Mkova. And they definitely would do because we've been going to their master classes. So I'm sure they are practicing. I'm not sure for everyone else, how practical is it to then declare everything? I mean, I'm talking of one boss that I had once upon a year. She was telling me that she doesn't declare everything to her spouse, because the spouse also did the same. Because interestingly, their child got sick. And when the child got sick, the husband then says, go to such and such a place. And so all along, I've known that we have this kind of money, and there's been an emergency with the child falling ill, and I've been told to look under something and something. She says, ever since that day, I'm also not declaring every source of income. I'm doing it for the good of the family and so on. So I'm not sure if it's practical.
I wouldn't advise that though. I believe in speaking about it, being clear with about everything. So, and you do it so well. I'm sure if you don't declare how much you have in your pocket, it will haunt you so much that you will even be talking about it in your sleep.
Me? Okay. All right.
Because that is what you believe in. You are so transparent. You are easy to read. Yeah. If you were to make money, you would mention it without mentioning it.
Yeah, okay.
Like really? Somehow
I'm so shy right now.
Know. I would know. So that is not for you. Not declaring it all is not for you. Yeah. But I believe in that because it's what we are in. We declare, like we do say, what you do about it, that's another story.
Yeah.
You know, there is we do combine our salaries and then we make a budget. By our salaries, I mean the husband.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
That's why I was laughing. But anyways, we do combine our
salaries,
our salaries, and then we draft a budget, and then after that we know where is going what, what is happening with this amount, so that this is where the issue is, so that when something happens, every party knows.
Yeah.
So if rent is not paid, I know that there is something that my husband did with finances.
Yeah.
Rent was supposed to be paid.
Yeah.
Or if the grocery is not bought, we are starving in between the month.
Yeah.
The husband knows that we had budgeted $50
towards groceries.
This is $20. We just ate $20.
Yeah.
So what happened? So it helps even in planning. It helps even to know when we budgeted $50 for groceries, and in between the month the $50 is exhausted. Then we know, for planning purposes, we know that our family cannot be sustained by $50.
Yeah.
Let's work hard.
Yeah.
You know, so that way we are pulling and pushing in the same direction. No one is going the other direction.
Yeah.
No one is pushing their own vision. And we grow together that way. So when we combine things, we do things together, we are growing together.
Wow. Okay. So I'll go back to that example of the child who got sick. So COVID times, it was a situation, and one of the local hospitals here, you had to pay $60 upfront.
Yeah.
So you have to do a COVID test, whether they're positive or negative. If you've got a tummy ache, $60 upfront first. And so we get to the hospital, the wife then looks at the husband. And many wives would do that.
We all do that.
Yeah.
After drawing a budget.
Yeah, after drawing a budget, when it runs out, you come back to the husband and say, Baba,
the man is the head of the house.
Yeah. So where do you expect him to then find $60, quote unquote, in an emergency? I like that.
We don't want to misalign you with the vision that God has placed in your heart.
So that's why we are not declaring.
No, let's declare, and then we work hard.
Yeah. So I remember the story this guy was telling us that, you see, this is why I don't declare. Also, we were getting paid twice a month, I think, that time, or something. I can't remember how, so I can't remember all the details.
Yeah.
And then he says, and this is how I had to pay the $60 upfront, because somebody's fallen sick. I'm not the one who's even sick. I've driven them to hospital. They say $60 upfront because inside is medical aid, and they are looking at me. And I took all the funds and I gave her. After drawing up a budget together, I gave the entire funds to her. But now that she has fallen sick, she's looking at me. Where does she expect me to get the money from? That is finance and relationships. So, but also hiding is also tricky.
it's really tricky.
Especially amongst married people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the wisest of moves. It destroys trust.
Yeah, it does.
The day, like I'm saying, when you tell somebody, look on the top shelf, underneath there's a sock like that, and then you discover
$1,000.
And interestingly, that's the kind of figures that this lady was telling me about. To say it wasn't small money, it was some respectable amounts, and so I thought it was keeping his golf gear or whatever gear. So it's something that I don't ordinarily touch. And when I get there, it's a whole lot of money, it's the kind of money you would see like drug money in movies, kind of. Not that it was in drug, but it wasn't a small amount of money. It was quite a generous amount. So it destroys trust, I think.
It does.
So you'd rather declare. Right. Once or twice I've said, mom, somebody gave me money, but it's not coming home. Somebody bought me lunch at work, but there's the monies that are not coming home. I would rather say that.
That is what I mean. I mean, you do say whether you declare like the correct amount, because in between, I know at times we are people, we do meet friends. At times we have people that just say this is money for something, or oh my gosh, you helped me, thank you so much, it's for you. Like I mean, it's for you, they were blessing you. So I don't really say let's dictate how all the funds that people receive have to be channeled. But I'm saying it's good to be transparent. Let's speak about finances, even with what do you think about parents and kids? Because I know that's another challenge. I had someone saying their boy would send their child with their card to swiping card, and they will go and buy something. But when they receive the message, it will be more than what they. So do we allow our kids to spend more? Do we allow them to borrow from us and not return? Do we allow them to,
I think now looking at where we are now, the world where we are now, people have been, children have been given financial literacy classes from an early age.
Yes.
I was brought up in a world of trust and dependability and reliability.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were a trust baby.
No, wow. Yes, a trust baby, my love. I'm a trust baby. I'm declaring on the episode that I'm a trust baby. But we were brought up on trust. And so even from the time I was 15 years old, I was a signatory to my parents' check account. I'm not sure many people in Zimbabwe wouldn't understand what a check is, a checkbook is. So we were signatories and we could write checks and cash out from our parents' account. And we were taught that you've got to be reliable, you've got to be dependable, and you've got to be trustworthy. So that's the background where I come from. But if you observe today, financial literacy is being taught to kids in elementary.
Everywhere.
So let's just teach kids about money at a young age. We've got a good friend called Jasper. He's already doing that in South Africa for 100 Rand a month. He's doing that.
How is he doing it?
So he's doing it online and you pay, and then he runs the class. I'm not sure what the age groups are, but it's primary school going kids. So let us teach children as well. I'm not sure if I'm answering you. But so that what one day, when there's need, or when you give them that credit card or debit card, it's not new to them. They are not blown away. They're not messed up. And then you give them the allowances. You teach them how to budget. Where is Terry and Julie again? Teach them how to budget. Teach them how to handle their finances and give them the allowance. So give them that freedom. So my parents were quite strict on that. So how to change a tire, how to change a plug, how to change the light bulb, and finance and budgeting. So it was, I remember how they would write at home income, and then there'll be his and hers, and then they would then draw up a family budget. So I have these things from childhood. So I guess how you then raise up the children, and then are they trustworthy? You won't get 100%. 10 out, definitely. I would not be honest and say you won't get 100%. I remember a friend of mine would say, daughter, I would buy chips and come home eating and having finished the chips. So I'll spend the change, but I'll eat along the way. I don't carry the money home. I don't steal. Yeah, so that kind of thing. So we don't have 100% 10 out, but I think once you instill these values in them. So for parents and children, I think at the age with financial literacy, now with all these digital things and the tools are being there, over and above all these DIY things, let's teach them also about finances so they are not messed up when they handle a lot of money.
Yeah, which is a good thing. And you were sharing about your family. I know it's not a competition, but I would like to point out on the issue of trust between parents and children. So what my mom was intentional about, I remember she used to have, she used to travel, and she used to give me the funds for the week. Like if she's going away for the week, she would say she never gave the helper I promise you, she would give me and say, if you run out of this is for what, this is for bread, this is, so that it was teaching me accountability. And even she was creating trust. You know, when she came back, I would give her back the change, and she will be knowing. It's not like she'll be expecting it, but that issue of teaching your kids the issue of trust in funds. And I remember even with the money that she used to do clubs, and she bought a car. And they bought a house as well. I was the one who used to keep those.
I need to tap into that. Handling so much money is
so she would just give me and say, this is for the car. I know if I am to keep it, I would spend it, so please find some way to hide this money. And I would know, like I would just hide it in places, and then when she's looking for that money, I'll give her back full amount. So that was creative. I know she was being intentional. It's not like maybe she would spend the whole $5,000 or something, but she was teaching me trust to say, if I give you this and I'm saying I'm giving you this talent, you know, keep it, you know, and when I need it back, just give it back to me. Yes.
Okay. All right. So speaking of your mom, how then do we handle in-laws and finances?
Oh my gosh, that's a very difficult one. Actually, yesterday, so we did something for the parents. And you know what my mom's comment was? She was so grateful. She was so grateful. And then she pointed out on a way out of the car, she was going home, and she was saying, there's this family that is struggling with balancing the in-laws and all that. Make sure that you balance. And I'm not saying do the same thing. What I'm saying is make sure when you give the other side. And one thing that I was taught when I was leaving home was make sure that you are taking care of the other family. Now that is your duty. You are leaving home to take care of the other family. Because it's easy. You are drawn to your family. And it's easy to give them your whole salary. But that sacrificial love, because when you're giving the other family, you're sacrificing. It's not your ordinary, your usual thing to do. Now it's becoming, you are cautious about it, you're planning, you are setting aside. And so my thinking is there should be a balance, whether we're saying my husband is doing my family and I'm doing his family, my other family. I choose to say my other family. When you say his family, it becomes my other family. But there has to be a balance because needs are different. If I am saying maybe I'm taking off medical bills and you are taking care of the gardener, something like that, because needs are different.
So it doesn't have to be the same amount. But you're administering to that need.
To that need.
All right.
Yeah. So there has to be that balance. What's your take?
Definitely. I wanted to then bring that question then to say, how then do you buy a raincoat for somebody in the desert? So it doesn't necessarily make sense to say
an analogy.
So sometimes because there was a desert experience that side and they needed umbrellas, and then you want to then take to the other side a raincoat, but you see, so I say balance also talks about need. So it's not about the amount, but balancing the scale. If you do for the side, do for the other side as well. So it's not about how much you did, but are you able to serve the need and balancing it out? And recently I'm in another couples chat and they were like, hey, be careful about black tax. So we are African, so black tax is normal to us, and but they were like,
I don't think it's about black tax for us. Really? Let me speak about us, not other relations, not general. For us, it's about the blessing that comes with the parent pronouncing a blessing over your life. So we do it because we enjoy that. We see God coming through. We see things just falling into place. And it's not because we are better than other people. It's because of that blessing that was pronounced. And our time is moving. I wanted to ask about finance. Your relationship with the church finance is not as anyways, that's okay. Like, do you give to the church? Your relationship with God? Okay. Finance and God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it can take the whole day. You
definitely.
Can go ahead.
I will then. I'm all for liberality, and I don't want to box people.
Okay.
So I don't want to be misquoted on this, but we see from scripture, especially in the New Testament, how there is liberality and generosity is encouraged. So I also don't want to then box it into finance.
Right.
So if there's somebody who's in need and I've got 2 coats, I definitely would give them one.
Yes.
And if somebody has no meal, I definitely would do that. But I don't want to ever box it into actual
we're not
money.
Getting into the tithe and the offering and all. No. We're just talking about
generosity.
All right. Thank you so much.
But this can go all day. It's a very broad topic. Perhaps we'll do it, pick it up again very soon.
Yes.
But it's another episode of Can We Talk?